Do, do, do. Dun, dun. Okay. Right. Trying this out, Kick and YouTube. Kick and YouTube, lads. Would really appreciate it if you could help me get people on over here. Just trying things out, dipping my toes in the water. What are you looking at here? $40. The daily big 40. Doesn't even look amazing, you know. And that's coming from the best. Sorry, I'm very quiet. I don't know why. Oh, the mic. There's something going on with the fucking mic. Sorry. Jesus Christ, man. Come on, Mike. Hello? Test. Oh, sorry, lads. How about this? Something like that. But then that picks up background noise. Need to update the fucking setup, lads. Incredible, isn't it? Incredible. Incroyable. Hey Siri, set timer for 40 minutes.
40 minutes, starting.
Alakazam. Shaver Dupeng in the place. Yeah, I don't know about like streaming on Twitch versus YouTube and Kick. Do I stream on all three at the same time? Today's a kind of tame-ish session. We might end up moving it over to Twitch later, you know. That's very possible. So this is my Kick. Oh, is this? Oh, I see. I think. So I'm live on in two places now. You'll need to go live first before you can send comments. Kick connected. I see. Okay. So I'm just figuring this all out by myself. Just figuring this all out. So this is where this is how restream is the thing. Like I could add Twitch to this, but Twitch don't like you multi-stream, and I don't really have a clue. But I have to figure all that out. But yeah. I gotta figure it out. Could definitely play some cash games today. Could definitely play some cashish. Yeah, we're gonna battle in this 150. Or sorry, not 150, but 50 bucker. I will sell 30%. Oh, we're on break now. Nice. Wouldn't it be nice? Caught. That's a set of sevens. Wouldn't it be nice? So I'm going to sell 30% of the big 50. Oh, sorry, you won't have time. Never mind. It's on in a couple. It's on after the break. This big 40 though. This big 40 is the question. Yes. Go on then. Go on, I'll get stuck into the big 40. Big 40, big 50. That's what we're looking at. I think we're just about to go live now as well. Wouldn't it be a Super Stack Turbo Special? That looks like one will max late reg. That goes too long. Super 88 Super Stack Special. We'll sell some action for the 88 Super Stack Special. We're also selling for a bunch of stuff like Zodiac Goat High Roller. That's a 277 buy-in. We're only going to play it if we can sell 40%-ish. But that would be a nice one to play. It's a good tournament as well. Like it's just expensive, but it's one of the softest 250 plus buy-ins you're going to find on GG. Good, well structured as well. Whoa, I don't want to unregister. Do. Sell 40% of the 88 Super Stack Special. Ah, scheiße. It's been a long time jugging. Can only see me on a late night booking. Are we gonna get in this 108 Bounty Hunter special? Probably just skip it. Skip it. Just skip it. Oh, how much? Zodiac High Roller is a 109. Right, we're gonna play the Zodiac High Roller. Oh, fucking. Gonna play the Zodiac High Roller. And that's all. I mean, I'll show you GG. Show you what's upcoming. Yeah, these are the tournaments we've pre-regged. From the big 50 to the 54 special. We're selling action for the 54, the 85, 215. Zodiac main. We're not selling for these. We're selling for the 129 7 max Zodiac Gold High Roller Super Stack 85. Not selling for the 40 special. So I guess from the 85 to the 54. Guess I'll put my chat here-ish. Yeah. Feel better that honey and ginger. Zodiac Goat High Roller. I like that. Right. Get some tweets out. How do I get my YouTube playback? Still figuring all this shit out. Still figuring it all out. Come on, what's going on with my cam? What's going on with my cam? The big fitty. The big fitty. Yeah, looks good. Don't have all our commands. So we're at the very start of the big 50. Just started and ignore the payouts command. And yeah, we jumped in last second of the big 40. So jumped in right at the end of late reg and right at the start of reg. Live on YouTube with Zodiac. Wonder will YouTube copyright all my music now? I don't know. We'll just have to figure the fucking shit out when we go. Rights. Maybe I'll just play some tech house actually for now. Zodiac Goat High Roller. That's a fun one. I've not played that in a while. Three bet eights. What's our note on this guy? Daddy likes a booty. He likes a booty. Maybe I can't see my YouTube chat though. That's an issue. Okay, now we're Gucci. Check back now. It's gonna get a little weird. Gonna call this off. He's jamming 8 bigs. He should have some Jack 9 suiteds up, like Jack 10 suiteds, Queen 10 suiteds. No hearts. Chop it up, please. Thank you. Yeah, it's a tricky one, man. We having 8s probably isn't good here. Blocking 8, 9, and 10 8s of the world. However, it's a fucking darn good price, isn't it? He opens, calls a 3 bet, calls a small bet. Gonna keep him on a 7 bigs to win 35 is too good of a price. Yeah, he's just gonna show up with an ace a lot, and again with that size, he can just have any ace X, right? Zodiac Dragon High Roller. Again, very excited to be back in the mix of this one. Dun, 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 dun. The multitasking is real. Once again, lads, selling action on GG Poker. On my YouTube, if you don't have a GG account, there's a link in the description of my YouTube. Okay, it's a fair fight. We got about 60% here. Hold. Flipping on the turn, essentially, with all those outs for our opponent. Hold. Nice, man. Big hold. Big hold at the start of our session. Oh, yeah, what was our... 350. So we're in for $350 right now, including all the stuff we pre-reg. Does that make sense? 170, 210, 260. It's just a 270. No, that shouldn't be right, you know. Should be more. What did I have in the fucking balance? Oh, okay, I see. Of course. Why, of course? Why, of course. We're in for 1.3k, not 300, because we've pre-regged all the way up for the next 4 hours again. Selling some action. Nice to bust him for the 4 big pot as well. Brilliant. $10 bounty hunter here, $11, 1080, whatever. Hey, come on, man. Come on, brew. Well, that's the fucking end of that one. Jesus fucking Christ. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. No idea if we're gonna have lag as well. Like, no idea. Jack 10 suited or raise calling. Easy peasy when he's got a fraction of a starting stack. He's starting stack is 10,000 chips. He's 2,000 chips. And the bounty is worth about 30% of a starting stack, this bounty. So it's worth about 3,000 chips. Is that an 8? Come here, lad. $55.50 stack. It's a nice 3-bet from him. Nice job. Open King 9 suited in the cutoff. Jones. Right, need to get tweets out here. Check raise Jack 6 here with the backdoor galore. Turn equity on a Jack 10, 9, 6, 5, 4, spade. Like, a lot of good turns. He went 1.8, we went 9.6. Kablam! Could have shaved the big blind off this. Wow. Gonna go 10% here. 12 to be precise. Went down a quarter on the turn, just trying to get all the money in by the river. Easy game. He's really snapping me down here. What have you got, mate? I don't respect it. Okay, I see. I see. Uncle Cess, what's up, mate? You're on kick. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you hanging out, Uncle Cess. What's up, dude? Gotta re-enter this. So this guy, 3-bet 10-6 suited, call 4-bet, and then the station post. And then he says thank you. Yeah, we don't like those people around here. The people who say thank you after they suck out on you. That is not some real world behavior. Paul Mallon, good luck on the grind, big lad. What's up, Paul? Kicks honestly got so much great potential. You know, I could see it really competing with Twitch. I hope so, man. I mean, I've no idea, really. Somebody said, hey, you should try Kick. And I'm like, let me give it a go. But yeah, no, I'm not, I'm not totally naive. I do understand there is big potential here. New audience as well. Twitch is a little bit static right now, or growth is slow. Are we going to start bluffing into two players? I did consider leading the King 9 tree after flat and small blind. There is some three-way game theory we've been studying. Right, there's a tweet out for YouTube. Kick right now. Kick.com/Sven calls. Right, in the $11 bounty, we defend the big blind versus button, get a really nice flop. Don't want to scare him away. Although we're still not going to go that small. Okay. 22 bigs on the turn would leave us with about 62 and about 66 in the middle. Yeah. Poker's easy. Just try to get all the money in with good hands. Obviously, there is a very in-depth, nuanced skill to knowing how strong your hand is relative to your opponents. That's really what it's all about. The relative strength of your holdings. Yeah, I have another laptop here that I was supposed to have all the feedback of Restream and Kick and YouTube, but the charger doesn't work because we're a fucking amateur. We spent all our money on crypto when ETH was 4K. But we chillin'. Let me just leave you with the full screen for a moment as I try and do these little streamer related errands. Okay. I guess I can get Kick up on my phone. We'll figure it out. Closing in on the money at a big 40 after max late reg in this one. Activate that green felt as we're approaching the money. Final table, alright. What's up? We're live on Kick right now. We're playing some GG Poker Tournament, Zodiac Dragon, High Roller. Tune in, kick.com/Sven Calls. Going to put the link on the screen for you. Tune in. What's up? We're live on Kick right now. We're playing some GG Poker Tournament, Zodiac Dragon, High Roller. Playing a little loose here, but recreational player we want to isolate. It's Shawnee Poet. What's up, Shawnee? Yeah, it's a fun, it's exciting, man. It's a nice change of scenery. Right, in we go. Oh, sorry, wait, wrong table. Yeah, and of course, let me know if there's any weird issues happening with audio or whatever the fuck. Jax? Chop it up. Chop it off. Fuck off. Do. Jeez, don't even have Kick downloaded on my fucking iPhone myself. Okay. Pocket 4 is here. I'm gonna just send it on this guy. You're able to do stuff like this in bounties, and with the guy sitting out, it just opens up this range a little wider. 58 bigs now at Big Blind 200 is very different than 58 bigs later. This is just a starting stack, and again, a starting bounty's worth about 30% of a stack. He's got 1.5 starting bounties, so this 375 is like worth half a starting stack, so huge overlay. Do. Okay, in the Big 50, we opened Jack 9, and we're just going to bet into two players here, nice and chunky. We've got the perfect suits to barrel on diamonds or hearts. We got the straight draw equity, we got the overcard to the 10. And we've just got the strongest range. Can really start putting some pressure on 6x and 4x and ace highs of the world. We don't need to barrel. We can check back and realize our equity. You know, it's a totally reasonable option. However, I think when we bet the flop into two players like that, I think a lot of the type of hands are going to have our flush draws. So let's just really just empty this one. Having a heart now isn't ideal, but because we want them to have some hearts are hands that they're going to fold on the turn. If they had some like ace 9 of hearts hand on the flop, that's a very easy fold on the turn. So we do block some folds with the 9, but the jack of diamonds is obviously ideal. This run out now, I'm not a fan. We don't rep an awful lot. He's going to have a decent amount of 10x. He's going to have flushes himself. The only thing I'm worried about letting win is like the bare ace of diamonds, like ace 8 off with the ace of diamonds. But if he's got that, so be it. Nice hand. He does have top boat. We'd plenty. We'd like 35-ish percent equity against that on the turn. Could have taken the free one, as I said, but plenty of fold equity. I think if he's got some bare 10x without any diamond or anything extra going on, it's a pretty, I don't want to say trivial fold, but people do fold that hand there, right? I do. Boop, boop. Seeking value from some pocket trees, true pocket 9s, and curious king highs. And also just setting the price against an ace. We lose 5 bigs against an ace, whatever, in total. Anyway, we could check back turn and then fold river and lose even less against an ace, but then we don't get the value from the pocket trees, curious king highs. Not good, bro. Check call, jack 10 off 2 streets, first small on ace, deuce, deuce, deuce. See what I mean, man? Like, yeah. Get the absolute maxi. Oh shit, the music might be a bit loud for you guys now. Do. Oh, cheers for the retweets, lads, on the Twitter stuff. Honestly, it's so helpful. We're going in for a naughty squeeze here, and it's based on 2 things. This should be a pure fold, but this guy's a whale. He's really bad. He's a wreck. Sorry, no offense, dude. You play recreationally, clearly. This guy just kind of snap over called here, so I'm afraid of this original opener, but these 2 lads, even though this guy's like played pretty solid so far, he just seems like some passive recreational. Yeah, and the squeeze, the adjustment gets it done there. Let me take you over to the $40 daily special, where I guess we have to stack off now. Should have just, it's all good and well when we get it through and we take it down, but we either have to fold to a 4-bet jam or get it in against a 4-bet jam. And I wouldn't have 3-bet folded 10s there, I don't think, against an active Brazilian. So in hindsight, I actually would have flatted. If I just took another moment and thought about the kind of scenarios. Food I got today was fucking amazing, man. Shout out Teddy Tuma, not this guy, but the actual footballer who's recently moved to Reims in France. I'm gonna click this back, lads. It's our specialty. It's our patented flop click back that we love to just run everywhere with bluffs, with good hands, with vulnerable hands like pocket eights. It's a tempting one, it is, but I'm just going to keep it simple. We win a little bounty over here, by the way. This guy was all in for 2 big blinds and we... Brother. What are you telling me here? What are you telling me here, dude? What kind of games are we playing here, dude? What are we doing here? So this under the gun raises to 2 bigs. Cut off calls. This guy. Fucking hell, dude. What's going on? Cut off calls. Button folds. This guy's all in. Oh, we rejam all in. Guy folds pocket jacks. Because we went all in for a bunch of chips and he... It's a bounty tournament, mate. Someone's forced all in like that. Did he time out? Maybe he timed out a jacks. Who knows, man? I do that all the time. Oh, I see my chat. Now I have confirmation that my chat is merged. Open ace 10 suited. Who are you? He's staked by 2 dudes. He looks like a recreational or maybe, you know, somewhere in between a rec and a pro. A grinder. I wonder, like, so let's say I wanted to switch over to Twitch now. How would I seamlessly switch over to it? I guess I have to end the stream. Yeah, I'd probably have to end the stream and fire it up again. So we got Uncle Sess on kick and we got Paul Mallon over there. We're gonna have to fold our double gutty now. We got Paul Mallon over there on YouTube. Very cool. Okay. Close this, close this, close this, close this. Boom, bam. You know, I think we just call in theory sometimes. But that's only if people are barreling appropriately and bluffing appropriately. You know, against... yeah, let's just go 6. Come on, continue, my dude. My Hong Kong resident. I check. We check it. Over to you. And we're going to check it again and hope that he just drills a fucking 8 or whatever makes him a full house. Pocket 10s, hit a 10. Something like this now. I don't know, man. We could have checked again easily. I'm in two minds. He did not take the bait. The 85.50 bounty hunter special is kicked off on GG. Kian buying 40%. Go on, Kian. Gonna bring home the bacon first, mate. Yeah, you want to buy some action, lads. We are selling action for upcoming events. For the next... how many hours? In 30 minutes, we have the $88 Super Stack special. In 30 minutes, we have the $277 Zodiac Goat High Roller. However, we're only going to play that if we sell 40%. It's the softest tourney above any $200 buy-in I think that GG has to offer. But yeah, 55 minutes time, we have the $129 7 max. Zodiac Monkey King Bounty, Zodiac Main Event. In an hour and a half, we have the 85.50 Ultra Deep Bounty Turbo, which is the first WSOP online event of the evening. I'm just going to fold my Jack 9 suited here. Thoughts? And yeah, right now we're max late reg and $30 special, 10 minutes left on late reg. And in 2 hours time, we're playing the 215 Bounty Hunters special. And at the exact same time of the 215 Bounty Hunters special, we're playing the 54 Bounty Hunters, which is just like a small field, 1.5k guaranteed. Gonna go for another multi-way C-bet here. Big one with our King Jack offsuit on the 8-7 Deuce Rainbow against two players here. Bombs away. Got our overcards, got our backdoor straight draws. Don't love this as a barrel. It's not the worst, but we do block like Jack 8 of diamonds, King 8 of spades. Like our suits block the suited combos of the 8s. We don't have a club. We have a spade, which is bad. We don't have a heart, which is good. You just want to unblock folds and block calls, right? We want to make it less likely he's got a hand that can call. We want to make it more likely he's got a hand that can snap fold. Removal isn't everything though. But some things kind of go unsaid, like I'm not really talking about how capped his range is. His range is also quite capped there. You know, he's got some pocket 6s, some 7x, small amount of trips, not really any overpairs, maybe 9s. The dude's Jew over there on Kick says, Sven, I used to watch you like 2 years ago. What the fuck? Haha. And yeah, dude, Uncle says, I have asked Eddie and Kick multiple times to put Poker Session on the front page next to Casino and Slots, but they still haven't done it. Look, man, I really like where your head's at. I sent Kick an email saying, look, I see your poker directory is completely lacking Poker's a very, very special game. Everyone loves to gamble, right? But it's the only form of gambling that is truly like, you know, it's fucking amazing, man. It's something you can build and grow on. And just like any forms of gambling, it's dangerous and you can fucking do it in. And it'll, if you do have some bad gambling qualities or like some, you know, but I wasn't set up to be a poker player. Poker taught me to not be a degen. Poker taught me that about EV. Poker taught me about numbers. Poker taught me about not focusing on the things you can control. Like, it's a very character building experience and a bankroll building experience if you do it the right way. Like, everything in my life has came from poker. I've never had I got paid €15 to clean windows in a pub when I was 15 years old. 2 hours of work. I did a shitty job, never got called back. I was probably supposed to get paid more than €15, but I did so badly they only gave me 15. This is the only time I got handed money. Other than when I was 18, I was collecting welfare for like less than a year just because I could. The job seekers allowance. But that was when I was getting into poker. But other than that, just poker. My socks, my shoes, my apartment rent, every cent I have to my name, my laptops, every place I've been in the world, the people I've met, it's all from poker. It's all from this career. So you get what I mean. It's like I see it as very special, and like I think I want another poker boom to happen, obviously, and I do see the potential for another poker boom. The problem is the RTA and all of that shit, you know, but can get really top security, or even just a live poker boom, whatever. It doesn't have to be online, but light needs to get shed on this game. Like, think of how popular gambling is, and like nobody really gives a shit about this skill game where you can like generate an edge for yourself. Anyway, very, very passionate about this game. This is pocket sixes and pocket fives and trapped aces pre a lot. Okay, interesting turn card. We're dead sometimes, but it actually makes it less likely he's got those hands Fearon. But anyway, let's forget about things combinatorically for a moment. Like, let's just think about things logically. And like, he's just re-raised my check raise in position. It's really weird, and it's really strong, actually. It's not that, you know. So yeah, I'm out of here, lads. I'm out of there. We are looking at pocket sixes. We are looking at quad fives. We are looking at some trapped aces potentially. But anyway, what we're not looking at, I'll tell you what we're not looking at is bluffs very often at all. Like, who the fuck in the right mind just snap 3-bets flop there? But I don't know. Maybe he's just got nut flush draw or something, but why would that just start betting half pot on the turn? Sevens will 3-bet. Anyway, back to chat. Yeah, like casino and slots is just like, everyone's crazy about casino and slots, but that's like nothing compared to poker, Texas Hold'em, you know? Yeah, they just need people. Poker's very misunderstood. The dude's Jew says it's so stupid they need to help grow the poker section. Yeah, but it's like you don't know. Like, they don't even know. They barely know it exists. They know poker exists, but they don't know they don't fully get it. It's a very misunderstood game. We limp call here. We thought about limp raising the king 8 offsuit. It's a funky combo to just go for a limp raise. But I'd honestly rather limp raise something. King 8 plays okay as a limp call. I can just limp call. I can make good pair of 8s. I can make, you know, can I hit a king, hit 3 kings, whatever. If I had king 3 offsuit, king deuce offsuit, doesn't play as well as king 8. So that might tempt me into a limp raise even more so. I'm battling with Blom 96 on 2 tables. I'm actually going to call this king 10. Here, it is the weakest hand we're going to call. Like, We're not going to call Queen 10 offsuit. We're not going to call King 9 offsuit. But if you look in ranges here, this is the type of hand that's supposed to get sticky if your opponent is finding appropriate bluffs from the big blind. And I think Blam 96 maybe he is. We're going to spring a raise now, because if we don't need to. We just allow him to check back the river, but we also allow him to bluff off the river by check calling. So yeah, we're not going to lead or worry about it going check or anything now. It's just nothing we can do at this point. I think he's just got to bluff quite often, so... he was going for value at the tens. Well, I wish I sprung the check raise now, but... There's also the possibility that he's just betting the turn small just so he can jam river. And, you know, he probably would have jammed different rivers for value because he was so comfortable with his pocket tens, as he should be. To take you over to the Zodiac Dragon High Roller. We open the Jack 9 suited here. We need those chips. I'll take that. I'll take the raise and take it right now. Back to 20 bigs there. It's the first time we've played the Zodiac Dragon High Roller in a while. We used to play it every day back in the day when we were less responsible and we knew less about variance and our bankroll management was worse. I mean, it's only a 109. I'm getting it mixed up with the Zodiac Gold High Roller, which is a 277. But still, 109s in the daily can get expensive. We're going to call here if coin toss folds. Good luck. We're probably... Ace 9 suited gets tough. Ace 8 suited I probably start folding. It just depends on this guy, like, and we don't know much about this guy at all. He's got 55k in cashes. It sucks, man. Second bullet at the 50 stack as well. We chilling, though. We are chilling. Game selecting quite well, as a matter of fact, today. It's somewhat of a chill session. Uncle says he'd love some action on GG, but his count is suspended because of documents and verification. Yeah, I feel that, man. Story of my life, honestly. We're gonna have a lot of bluffs here, like 8-6, 8-7, miss straight draws, 6 trees, 3 deuce even, 3 deuce of hearts that peel the big blind pre-flop. However, still, I'm just gonna go all in here, lads. Okay, he got us. I wish I had time to, speculate what are the hands that can call the river here, because that is one of them. But the thing is, he needs to check back top set when the flush is available, and normally people don't like to do that at all. So when he checks the turn there, I'm not giving him credit for having those hands, for any hands that can really call the river. But nice, well played. Even though he is a recreational, nice find. Normally people are too afraid to check back their set there because they don't want a bad card to roll off on a river. But he's probably... The reason we check back kings there is because if we bet, we just get too many folds, I guess. Not sure. Anyway, got wrecked. Yeah, ACR, just talking about verification stuff. The reason I don't sell action on ACR is because I'm trying to and I can't. It's like... It won't let me sell more than one markup, or it's so scuffed the way you try and list it. But I think I need to verify extra stuff, but it's like, where the fuck do I verify it? It's like really dumb, really dumb how they do it there. Like for trying to list action yourself, because you're trying to click stuff and it just won't work. This could be another all in, lads. So good luck. Just punting off. Some of the newcomers going to be like, this guy's just punting off stacks everywhere. He has some 10x. We block queen 10 suited. We block queen 10 off that he can open. But like in this check back turn line, he has some 10x. He's kind of like, his range is kind of weighted towards weak, medium showdown, which is 10 really fits the bill there, right? Do. Ian So Rare hanging out with us. Poker had a big boom in the early 2000s, yes indeed. With the late night high stakes games on TV, etc. But it seems to have went backwards. Paid me through uni, yeah, you were in the mix back in the uni days. That's how a lot of dudes started. And then they just dropped out because they started to make so much money from it. Or like, not so much, but like enough so that they would just drop out of their career choices. Regretfully so in a lot of cases, but you know, in other cases they've still doing it. But yeah, I mean, poker just got really tough in the last decade. And I guess that turned a lot of people off, but people are just lazy. They don't like to commit to something. It's the same with like So Rare. You know, everyone on So Rare is complaining that they're not winning Mbappes every week. It's like, put in a bit of a fucking grind. What's what everyone thinking they can just waltz into stuff and win all the time? Like, that's what I never got about the entitlement on So Rare. You don't get that in other. You don't really get that in poker at all. Like, poker's you fucking battle for rations in this modern era. But I mean, like, the top 1% have a good time for sure. Big thing for me is the freedom. Bringing my laptop around the world. Give me a laptop and some decent Wi-Fi and off to work. My OBS is frozen there. Could do with a laptop upgrade. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, Moneymaker was big part of that boom. A guy called Chris Moneymaker won the World Series of Poker, which was a $10,000 buy-in on in Vegas every year. He satellited into it for like $50 online. So everyone heard about this guy Chris Moneymaker, and his name is legit Moneymaker, which is weird, but he won the ticket online, got to play the 10K, won the World Series main event. Not because of his skill level, because, you know, he was alright, but he still is. He's still in the mix, but everyone was like, wow, you can just make millions through online poker, or blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I'd really love to see another boom of sorts. I mean, if people just start to see the lifestyles. The problem with poker now, all the people who have responsibility behind the scenes or whatever, or for these companies or their marketing, I think the days of poker, I think we need to embrace the nerdy side of poker now. And everyone's just, I've done some commentary for some big poker events, like some maybe World Series of Europe events in Rozvadov. And I've been told beforehand to keep it light, you know, there's a lot of blah, 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 blah. There's some really in-depth strategy. This is one of the most deepest, complex games in the world. It just keeps going and going and going. The strategy just goes so deep with exploits and counter-exploits. If someone doesn't bluff enough, you fold more, and there's so many, like, if someone isn't bluffing enough, you just fold more. If someone bluffs too much, you call more, you start raising them, and like high-level professional against high-level professional who are like tracking each other's statistics and tendencies and figuring out exploits against each other, and then one guy realizes he's getting exploited, so he just counters. Like, endless scenarios and stuff. And there are solvers in poker now. Like, computers show us highest EV plays, like most profitable optimal lines, given that, you know, but you gotta take those with a pinch of salt because sorry, I'm getting super distracted by some noise outside. The solvers show us how to play versus a perfectly optimal player. So optimal versus optimal. And you just need to deviate. Let's say a solver tells you that a certain hand should call the river in a certain spot. If your opponent is playing optimally himself, this is what your optimal calling range should be. But you just say, okay, you just check to see what the optimal bluffing range for your opponent is. And you can just say, okay, my real life human opponents, they're not bluffing this and this. So we're actually going to... We get the baseline kind of equilibrium of what to do in a spot. Like, and then we just adjust either way based on how we think our opponents are playing in game, which is called node locking. But anyway, yeah, I guess all of that should be kept on the back burner and like not be at the front of poker. But poker is just about like, oh, fucking gambling and drinking beers. They need to embrace the high level strategy that this game has to offer and not just keep tailoring towards the people who just want to see a bit of gambling and a bit of like bluffing with 7 deuce and stuff. It's like... Like, when you're watching two professionals play against each other, there's so much going on. And most commentators in a live poker game, they don't even have a fucking clue what's going on. Like, professionals, when we listen to the vast majority of commentators, we cringe so hard because the commentators don't have a clue what's going on. And there's a lot being missed, you know? There's some really cool information just being completely left out. The viewers don't know what's going on. Anyway, at the end of the day, like, there needs to be those casual players that play for fun, for the ecosystem of the game. If the game was just all nerds and pros playing high level against each other, that wouldn't work also. But I just think the recreationals can just embrace, or it's not up to the recreationals, it's up to the media, the poker media, to just give little tasters to the... Just to give little bits of soft game theory to the recreationals at times. I guess that is where it's going slightly, but we need better commentators in the booths. We need to really embrace that this is a high-level strategy game. And it's super, super competitive, you know? Maybe the future of poker is people betting and gambling on poker players. Like a high-level sport like that. And then people kind of two types of... Is it? Oh, quads on the board to chop it up. Let's go. Anyway, lads. Unfocused here with this ramble, and it's not a super... not a super concise ramble as well because of the multitasking we're doing at hand. Hopefully you get the sentiment a little bit of what I'm saying. Luke says, on that note, Sven, I'm thinking of moving to Vietnam from Australia to try to learn/play more poker. Don't have a GG account because it's banned here. Yeah, Australia and US have some pretty strict laws with the online gambling. That's why I wouldn't live in those countries. Do you think I'll have trouble signing up when I get to Vietnam? No. I know loads of dudes that move to Southeast Asia and they just get a GG account. You just need a proof of address set up, and proof of address isn't always the easiest thing ever, like in these kind of Southeast Asian countries and whatnot, but there's a way around it. Like the way I got around, I mean, a certain site just let me take a video, like that let me just email them a video to prove where I was, because the proof of address document can be tricky sometimes. But another thing you can do, you can just go to like a shopping center, buy a phone, get your address on an invoice, send that into the poker site. That also works. It's like, it's not hard, man. Or just rent out an Airbnb for a few months and get an Airbnb proof of address document, which I'm sure is easy. So like, my landlord here in Cambodia has no English. He can write a word of English. He doesn't. My proof of address documents. That's why I can't play on PokerStars right now, because PokerStars keep asking for an updated proof of address, which is really inconsiderate when I'm like, you know, one of the biggest grinders on their fucking whole site. Anyway. 100% agree, it's a grind, you got to be into it. Just lost time to play as much as I did, yeah, for sure. It's a real commitment. Still play certain events when I can, though. Good luck today, mate. Thanks, Ian. Good luck on the weekend as well, pal, on So Rare. Yeah, no, poker's as much as I went on a big serious rant and poker's all needs to be taken seriously and it's a sophisticated game, it's also, you can just get different areas of poker. Like football. Football, you got five-a-side football with your friends. You got the Premier League. You got all different levels of it. And it's the same with like poker. Poker is a beautiful game to play casually, and it's a fun thing to do with your friends or your family or whatever. Or like showing up to a live poker event with a few mates, having a few beers, heading down to the casino to play about a 1-2 cash games. Great crack. Great crack. And it's a journey for everyone. Whether how serious or not you are about it, it's your skill level, gets better. Or maybe you start trying something new and you get worse. Maybe you lose your confidence in bluffing after your bluff gets called a bunch of times, and your game's constantly evolving for the better or for the worse. And everyone else, and there's some guys out there who are obviously grinding their ass off, getting better at the game every week. Mr. Mate over there on YouTube says, "Hey bro, I asked this already once on your stream, but I missed the answer. What was it like playing poker in Australia? Did you only play in Melbourne?" Yeah, I played the Aussie Millions in Melbourne, and I really liked it. I hear now they don't run it anymore. Some weird regulations happening in Australia, which sucks. But I had a great experience. I was at the Crown in Melbourne. Pretty well ran events. 24/7 cash games. They had a really nice food court in the Crown. But yeah, I don't know what else much to say about that. I had a very unsuccessful trip as well, that Aussie Millions. That Aussie Millions, I rocked up and like really, I probably put about 40% of my bankroll on the line in that Aussie Millions. I played the 10k. I played the 10k Aussie dollars main there. Sold a bunch of action, but played a bunch of buy-ins. But a really great experience. Learned so much. Hit that follow button if you haven't already over there in KickClouds. Hit that subscribe if you're on YouTube. Well, if you want to see some poker. Two things I stream at the moment are poker and fantasy sports game, the best fantasy sports game out there, called So Rare. Would love to stream some other stuff. I'm big into FIFA. I like to react to stuff as well. I'm watching a lot of, we all love to watch videos. The reaction content is the meta right now. That's the wave though, right? And sick, as much as like poker is my passion. Like I'm a poker player before any of this content creating YouTube stuff that I'm giving a go. But at the end of the day, there is some serious dough to be made from this wave of YouTube just by guys just reacting to videos and stuff. Agreed. I'm a little bit anxious for when I eventually end up playing full time and tell people I play poker for a living. No one really knows what poker is. It just comes under the gambling category for the masses. Totally feel that, man. I remember when I was early 20s, I was a pro for 2 or 3 years. I was very proud of being a pro. I felt like I was rich as well. I was like delighted with how things are going. And when I met new people, and specifically women, let me put it this way. Long story short, I started to realize it was better to not tell these women what I was doing, which was quite a short-sighted way to do it. But like, God, I started getting way more success by just telling these ladies I was an electrician or in fucking college or this or, because it's very misunderstood, man. But who the fuck gives a fuck, man? The world is backwards as fuck. Like, who gives a fuck what people think? But yeah, people would be like, "Oh my God, that's horrible. What do your parents think of that?" And like legit questions, but it's like, just doesn't apply to me. Like, that particular question, as soon as I got my first big poker score at 19, my mother was chuffed. We were fucking broke, But yeah, people just will see. Some people will just think you're a delusional gambling addict. Like if someone comes up to me and tells me they're a blackjack player for a living, or worse yet, a roulette player. No offense to any people who like think you do all right in blackjack, and I know there's very small percentile that actually can do it, but I hear delusional gambler when I hear someone come up and tell me they're a blackjack player, right? But you were talking about learning poker and stuff. Just start learning poker now before you start playing it. People just love to play, and they like learning and studying. I mean, you do need to put in the reps and the hours as well, like the experience and seeing how people play, you know, seeing how your opponents play. It's a really, really tricky game because psychologically, because you can do the right play and get the wrong result. But probably what's even more difficult for your growth is when you do the wrong thing and get the right result, and you're like, oh, I'm class, but really you fucked it up and you got lucky, but you don't know that. So you have to have this really curious approach and self-analytical approach to the game. But here's the thing. Once you have that curious self-analytical approach to your game and really be open just to other people's critiques and opinions of your game, even if sometimes you're going to get a critique on your game and you're going to take it on board and you're going to find out a couple of years later that actually that critique was wrong, but you just have to take in all you can get, and then it's really easy to start getting traction in your career. Like, put it this way, and this is what I said when I was an 18-year-old and I started to fall in love with the game. If I get better every single week or even every single day, what's going to happen? What the fuck is going to happen if I get better at this every single week? Because I found a method and a process to getting better. Could have just made this 10-11 bigs, by the way, but this guy doesn't look like he's in a folding mood with all those chips. Oh, dang. Oh, he folds to both of us. Hold. Hold it. It's the 85.50. We need each other's cards now. Yeah, Uncle Sess over there on Kick saying, I like how GG implemented the last longer. Yeah, I've been doing very well with those last longers. Hopefully we get a hand next hand now. We can snipe this bounty. Queen tree. So like this bounty's worth about 3,000 chips. Not in the mix now. We have a pair and a flush draw over here. Covering for a bounty as well. We've collected 2 bounties in this 11 bucker right now. We've $5 back from our 11 investment. We're playing $10 tournaments all the way up to 215 today. The 88 Super Stack Special has just kicked off. I'm going to jam on this guy. I think we do generate a sliver of fold equity, but more importantly, we stack him on rivers when we get there now. Because if we check call and the river comes 9 of spades, or the river comes... we allow him to check back. And we got it in with, I don't know, 35% there or something. It's totally fine. And let's say he's barreling the turn with a hand like Queen Jack or King 9. We now make him fold. Obviously, that's a huge win for us. Surprised GG haven't signed up Sven already. They're missing out. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, I've been talking to GG, and yeah, you're right. They haven't signed me up. The dude was like, they're offering me just. They said, here's an affiliate link. Sign up people to GG for us, and you know, we'll give you $50 per dude or something. And I was like, no, they said they'll basically judge me on how many signups I get. And I said before I start doing any of these like signups, and which I've done none yet. Nobody's signed up. I was like, I don't really. I'm not about like making people like sign up, but I know through my passion for the game, that rubs off. I know myself when I watch other streamers, sometimes they give me this vibe to kind of go and fire up tournaments myself. I encourage people to log on, but GG's metrics are all wrong. They're like, they only care about how many new accounts you're signing up. So I said, fuck all of that, really. That's a terrible way to rank to kind of judge my success. But anyway. Maybe ACR is the one. Maybe I'll start doing some stuff with ACR if they can just sort out their fucking lobby. I was also in talks with ACR. And, yeah, you know, just leave it at that, I guess. But thanks, Uncle Says. Pagan Grace says, good luck, brother. Glad you have some top tier content on the side while I play. Or glad to have some top tier content on the side while I play. Appreciate that, Fagan. So we don't know much about this guy. I'm actually all in here because my direct left is probably going to... he's not guaranteed to, though. If I knew this guy was all in, I'm all in. And I thought he just nearly definitely would with this fraction. Get it in. Get it in. That does suck. Now we're exposed. We do get it through anyway. I sell Pokemon cards for a living at the moment. Yeah, there you go. And I'd totally see that as a legit profession, you know, being a poker player. So I've had the same history with feeling judged when explaining. Yeah, man. Once I was successful, I don't give a fuck anymore. Haha, feel free to judge me. Yeah. It's like you're not afraid of the, I don't want to call it rejection, but like if you're proud of your thing, you don't really give a fuck, right? But I think it's important to be proud of it first. But yeah, I think it's like, I just kind of like to, it's like my little, people want to learn about it, sure, they can learn about it. If people want to ask questions, you know, but if they don't, they don't, and I'm not going to bring it up myself, right? But yeah, of course, very proud of it. I'm sure you're proud of that as well, man. That's cool as fuck, you know? Flipping Pokemon cards. And it's a nice, that's a nice, fulfilling might be the wrong word, but like, interesting. I was never into Pokemon, but I'm big into football cards. I was pretty fucking big into Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was very young as well. But I love all the collector stuff. Yeah, it'd be a fun little thing for me to do as well. I've started playing here at the moment, but I just need more volume to learn and cover variants and figure out whether I can actually hack it to eventually become a winning player. Yeah, it's interesting, man. Being at that stage of the journey is super interesting. Let me take you over to the 8550 Bounty Hunters where we got the Rockets UTG. I mean, there's a lot of great content out there, man. I suggest a account on YouTube called The Poker Bank. The Poker Bank on YouTube has videos going back 10 years that are timeless in a sense, because they're not talking about the meta from 10 years ago. They're just talking about the fundamentals of the game 10 years ago, which don't change. Pot odds, combos. And like people, I get asked the question so much about like how to get good at poker and stuff, man. Like, I think I hate to admit it, and it's a bit of a red flag when someone says like, how do you get better at poker? It's like, I'm gonna call here actually. Keep in some bluffs. Bellator deuces of reg. Seems like he's grinding every day. It's just hard to, if we re-raise it we got a lot of too much fold equity for my liking. Like, he's gonna fold a bunch. We also got aces over here. We max late reg 30 special. We go down to our last two bigs. But we are 14 off the money. This is the double-edged sword to the max late reg. You get close to the money, but it's, you know, it's hard to survive short on chips. We do get action with the aces. These aces we're going to check back now. Maybe he's sniffed out how strong our range is already, because he's a good, competent, thinking player. Please jam it in there, coin toss. It's a great spot to dominate his range. He'll jam Jack 9 offsuit. He'll jam Jack 8 offsuit. Wow. Gonna check back these aces. Again. Getting in these aces for a triple up. I'm gonna check back that king jack off, you know. I think it like functions as a trap. Because we've a really deceptive strong hand that which just plays amazing in position against these limps. And also the times he is trapping like aces or ace king suited or whatever. Pot control. Kind of freestyle and unorthodox lines here, but I like it, man. I remember FT Bubble of some big GG event. The real Sam Greenwood. It was just like this. And Sam Greenwood limps in, and I've got 8 bigs, and I pocket 10s. And I saw Greenwood's limp as so polar, because I felt like any one overcard is just going to jam pre-flop. So I checked back my pocket 10s. And ended up getting it in against Greenwood's also pocket 10s. And then he hit a flush. Jamming now. Sad to get no action here after trapping our king jack. Maybe Bellator Deuce did have some sort of bluff, but who knows. We did get the nearly quintuple up here. No, quadruple up. I think GG based their business model on trying to recruit casual and new players. Yeah, but I think the bigger picture would be, you know, getting people passionate about the game, you know, as they should be. But they're just all about, like, let's gamble and have a bit of fun. They're more short-term profit-based, I feel like. I try not to be results biased. Just because I win a hand doesn't mean... Yeah, it doesn't mean I should have. Well, it's not... Yeah, there's no shouldn't to win the hand. It's just... You just try and play good, and... It's a game of equities. Edges and equities. And in the long run, man, things will come good if you just respect the game, you know? Respect the strategy. Trying to win money is not the way to go. The way you maximize your chance to win money from poker is actually by ignoring the financial side of it and spend all your brain energy on just trying your fucking damnedest, hand by hand, street by street. Just forget about rent, forget about your fucking the new Air Maxes you want. Jack tree offsuit right here, right now. Should I raise? Should I fold? I'm gonna call. This is the best fucking play. Like, really being just Terminator mode on what in the current fucking street by street, hand by hand. It's a lot easier said than done, man, because you know, it gets frustrating, but and I was a lot better at that back in the day, but I was a psycho at that. That's how I forced myself to become a successful professional, and I was never doubted myself, and it was just a matter of time for me with that kind of mentality of like, I'm just going to dedicate myself to playing as good as I can and getting better every day. I used to have a lot of written notes and be stuffing all caps saying like, don't do this, da da da. It's like silly stuff looking back, but still, it was... I just wanted a way to, you know, see progress. And studying and working on your game, having that attitude, you feel more confident. You feel more in the zone. You feel more wordy, you know? Jam 9-7 suited in the cutoff here for 8. Jack 10 off with a great price. We can try... Yeah, I'm going to take this spot to call. We could fold into the money, but it's a pretty good spot to just flop a piece and go with it. Because we're going to need chips anyway at some point now. We could fold this spot and get a couple of... We could jam our 4 or 5 big blinds all on the button or something. We could get some good spots. We don't have to call here. But I'm just seeing this as as good a spot as any. I'm going to waste a little bit of time, tank a little bit. Ilya Trifonov, can you put in the chips, please? Are we gonna get ourselves involved with the fours here? We for sure would have versus a min raise. I think we still call, try hit a 4. You flop a set about 12% of the time, 1 in every 8 times. We're investing 2 bigs to potentially win 40 bigs. You know, we could potentially 20x that investment of 2 big blinds. And when you flop a 4 1 in every 8 times, you get what I'm saying? We get ace king over here in our second bullet at a 50 stack. Might go for a min raise. Uncle Seth replying to Luke saying, I suppose in life if you want true freedom, you have to take risks from that. It just depends how badly you want to be successful. For sure. Not giving a fuck in general and not giving a fuck about what people think. We have no reason to really start betting our straight now. We don't really need protection and it's hard to get value. We're definitely not going to get 2 streets of value, so let's try and get some value on the river once we see how things develop. We're just all in here. Really weird that he actually has the option to fold now, but... Oh, so dead, mate. Nice. And now we seek value. Surely a jack will look us up. Maybe we get bluffed. Maybe this guy checked a 9 on the turn. Who knows what's going on. It's very strong when we bet into 3 players. Yeah, like you just... The thing is, like... Gambling is in all forms of life, really, you know. You do have to take a leap at some point. You can't be all super safe. At some point, you do have to take some sort of leap, you know. Whether that's, you know, investing in something, whether that's going out by yourself and starting your own business, whether that's quitting your job and starting a new job. That's all, you know, that's all risk taking. Sucks that he's got 2 overs. Sucks that he's just got like the weakest hand he's going to jam here and still has 2 overs. Like he could have had 3s. That sucks. Our buy-ins have been somewhat tame. I mean, I am keeping track. We're pre-regged a few things. We're in for 1150, so we're down like 1150 bucks. We got 5 tables on screen now, which is quite low and manageable, like extremely manageable. And we should have no excuses. We should be playing flawlessly by our own standards. We should be playing our A game right now, and I feel like we are. What have we got coming up? We're 5 off the money in the 30 special. We're going to tank there. Yeah, in 9 minutes we've the 129.6 max. Sold 50% of that on the client. Zodiac Monkey King Bounty, 215 yen. $30 buy-in. Zodiac main event, amazing tournament. 85.50 Ultra Deep Bounty Turbo, 215 Bounty Hunter Special, 54 Bounty Hunters to end the session. Maybe some other turbos, hypers. Maybe we max late reg. Some other regular speed tournaments. But yeah, still feeling confident to make money on the day. You know, it's not that much of an uphill climb at all. Could also play some cash games. I would like to vibe out with some cash. Yeah, I don't really have any feedback on lag or anything. Like, how do I see that? I guess on my laptop only. 3 off the money in the 30 special. We're really trying to squeeze in here. We're probably going to blind out in the process. We don't have bubble protection as well. Bubble protection is if you pre-register, you get your buy-in back if you bubble the tournament, if you've finished 45th. Or it depends on how big the tournament is. Sometimes there's 2 bubble spots, so maybe it's 45th and 46th. Doesn't apply to us in this case anyway. We're not taking our Jack 8 off for sure. We would be tempted with Jack 10 off. We'd probably take Jack 10 off. We'd be tempted with Jack 9 off, but yeah, we'd probably take Jack 10 off there. Speaking of Jack 10 off. But yeah, we get another 3 free hands before we go through the blinds. And even if we do go through the blinds and essentially blind out, the blinds go up in a minute, that's the problem. So if we can make it through the blinds and survive, we could be in the money. We'll take it hand by hand anyway. Here, which is the side pot, the 3.8. I might go for this. If there was a 7 on the board, that would mean there's a backdoor straight draw for us. So I'd be probably more likely to check it back if there was a straight draw involved for us. But I'm not concerned about having to bet fold our equity. Yeah, we have 2 overcards and the Jack of Spades. So there is that mild feeling of, oh, this sucks. We open the door for stuff like this to happen. But we check back, realize our equity if there was like, if it was 8-3, 8-4-3 or something like that. Because then we turn the straight draws on a 7 or a 9. Sometimes you don't want to bet fold your equity, is what I'm saying. And this was a kind of sweet spot, low amount of equity, where we were fine to try and stab and take it down and then fold to a raise. Kind of have to be one step ahead, right? You don't want to just bet and then get raised and be like, oh shit, what now? And it happens to the best of us, but yeah, it's good to kind of, if you've got a hand that doesn't want to get check raised, maybe check is a good idea, right? If you've got a hand that would really be nice if you got check raised, then maybe, you know, put in a little bet. Luke says, love that. I think I'm capable of really becoming a nerd robot. You sound like myself, man, to be honest. The dream is to be so good to the point where I just know instinctively what the optimal play is in every scenario. Yeah, I mean, for sure. You do have to brush up. There is a lot of brushing up on your skills involved in that, though. Just to let you know what's going on here. We're fine. We're gonna fold here. We're 45 left. We're gonna pay the small blind, and we're gonna be able to get another few hands. So we're gonna be hand for hand now. For those who don't know, like, every table in the tournament will play one hand, and the next hand does not start until every other table has finished their hand, which stops people from excessively wasting time and tanking to get in the money. Keeps it fairer. This is our board, and this is a board where we're always going to attack, bang it off as a bluff. So even though Jack 10 is a little bit uncomfortable to just empty it off, bet, jam, I think to compromise for all the bluffs we're going to have there, we should be doing that. Looking to secure $48 here. I'm happy to get the 9-4 off, you know. This is a more comfortable fold than like if we got dealt in like Jack 8 suited or something. Like, yeah, it's a tricky one. The shortest stacks in the tournament all have about 3 big blinds. I'm keeping an eye on them here. But short stacks don't need to bust. It's like two guys with 30 big blinds could clash. So we're going to fold our 9-4 off here. There we are, right at the bottom. And also, like, people will have that bubble protection we talked about. People will have bubble protection and they'll be happy to just get it in because they have bubble protection. And therefore, it kind of makes the bubble even more likely to burst. It is a tricky one now. It is a tricky one. The question is, like, is it worth blinding out for the $50? You're never essentially fully blinding out, though. Because you can always spin it up once you get in the money. Who's got bubble protection? Okay, so this short stack... Oh, he's sitting out, this dude. Fuck, that's not what we want to see. This dude's sitting out, the Vietnamese guy, who's also got bubble protection, by the way. Damn, this guy's all in on Kratek bottom right. Sweaty one, lads. Uncle Seth says stream's been fine. You've been here about an hour, no lag or anything. Nice, man. Appreciate the feedback. Because I have no other fucking feedback other than my boy Uncle Seth. Oh, he's back. This TTT, this Vietnam guy. I mean, he can get it in, and if he loses now, if he finishes 40-50, he's got $30. We're in the money, lads. And look, we had another 4 hands. Like, we nearly comfortably. I don't want to say comfortably in the money, but how big is the ante? How big is the fucking ante? I think we wait next hand. How big is the ante? Big blind 3k. It's a 350 ante. I think we'll just get in this 8-6. We lose half our stack next hand. And 8-6 it mightn't be dominated so much. Like the two, like this is exactly what I mean. 2 live cards. 9. No, 9 gives the king jack a straight. 6. Hey, look at this for a top shelf performance in the $30 special. This is, you know, I like this. I like this as a fucking sweaty little 1.6 bigs. We actually 8x'd our stack there from 700 chips to 556, 49, whatever. And a great event that's kicking off. One of my favorites of the off-peak earlier schedule. The 129 7-handed 7 max. And we're going to be getting active straight out the gate. Could definitely peel this hand. Allow the big blind to come along with some dominated diamonds. Create some scenarios where we cooler the fuck out of. Huh. If I knew this guy was like a regular who was like finding appropriate amounts of three bets there, we could definitely 4 bets. We could definitely 5-bet jam our ace 5 suited. It is a hand that's used. It's like a primarily used 5-bet bluff hand. We'll flat our ace 10 here. It's not the best, but 30 special. Yeah, lads, hit the follow button if you haven't already on Kick. That's what they call it on Kick, right? Follow. And yeah, subscribe over on YouTube if you want some more poker action. I was unsure on what kind of numbers we'd get in here. We're rocking 16 viewers now. Probably about 5 to 10% of what we'd have on Twitch, which is alright. It's our first poker stream on Kick and YouTube. But I just want to get comfortable with the surroundings first before we have that big fucking stream, you know? On Sunday, we were final 50 for $180,000. We satellited into the 630. Can I have a spade, please, first? 5 bigs? Are you kidding me, dude? Yeah, we were gonna do a big old intro stream for kicking YouTube by like running deep for 180k. That would have been a good way to get a bunch of people over here. And I think the future for us might be just streaming on all of the above, Twitch included. Fucking speaking of Twitch, man, I'd love to create VODs for subs. I still don't know how to do that. 4 new followers on Kick today. I do appreciate that, lads. The $88 Super Stack Special. Gonna squeeze it up here against the 3x and the call. 150 bigs effective. You'll hear a lot of regulars say, oh, I hate playing 100 bigs, I hate playing 80 bigs, I hate playing super deep, this, la di da di da. Frankly, I'm the opposite, man. I nearly feel more comfortable. And on the flip side, I know that there's a lot of regulars who are pretty sharp at the 10, 20, 30 big blind stuff. But then again, like, we've put the work in there as well. Quick stop and go. The Johnny Chan. Johnny Chan was doing this before anyone. People thought at shallow stacks you had to all in or fold. And Johnny Chan was there like seeing flops, getting it in. Ahead of his time, that man. We are going to let it go on this one though. 3-bet, C-bet. What is this? A quarter pot-ish? Gonna barrel it off, I think. We could have... They're a recreational player. We block King X. They're going to have a lot of like medium pairs like pocket 5s, pocket 7s, pocket 8s. Not saying they're going to fold on the turn, but by the river, that's a whole different story. We don't need to triple it off. We could just go huge on the turn and hope to fold out some of those. Or we could just say, look, this type of dude is never going to fold 7s or 8s and we should just shut down right now. But no, I'm going to barrel off the 8s of the world. And even some ace queens and ace jacks to chop. Ah, it sucks. Because 5s and 4s have the equity on the turn to like continue. Really not the one I was looking for. And he could also just be sitting on king queen suited. It's not the real ideal board to run out to barrel it off on. Although we'll have ace 4. But it's about what they have, because I know they're not really thinking too in-depth, to be honest. We are giving it up. Pocket 5s. Pocket 6s. Okay, the river potentially saved us. Kudos to them for not raising their 6s at any point. Because if they did raise their 6s at any point, we would have folded. This is why it's important to protect your calling range and to keep strong hands in your check calls. Most people just tend to, like, raise good hands, like... Which sounds super obvious, but like... When this guy check calls, I actually discount a lot of sets in my mind. I don't say it, but... I'm like, alright. He just check call, he probably doesn't have a set. People tend to like to raise when they hit a set, get money in. It is a pretty dry board though, fair enough to him. And he got the max. She, he or she, whatever. But let's say they'd pocket 7s. I think we do shake them off on the turn there. What are we looking at? About 800 up top in this, is it? Oh, 1400. There's multiple 30 specials on the daily schedule. I thought this was one of the smaller ones. This got 7k in the prize pool. 20% going to the winner-ish. Easily in the money, never in doubt. Time to go for first, says Lukey boy. Going strong. Even spinning it back up with the 10s there. Patience is great, man. Chipping a chair and all of that, like really playing your heart out, even if you've half a big blind. You notice when we had half a big blind, we're genuinely really thinking of what to do. We're not just like, if I see my friend, and it's probably been about 5 years, because if someone's got half a big blind or a big blind and it's like, whatever, well, I don't care anymore, let's just get out of the tournament. It's not a big fucking deal, but it's just a bad habit that will rub off on the rest of your game. Here's a legitimate spot. I guess I'll call. We could just fold, because even if we have the best hand, sometimes our overall equity is probably like 15%, because sometimes we got 0% equity. Sometimes we have the best hand and we probably have about 40% equity three-way at best. So probably overall we're like not looking good there. A lot of the time we're just probably dead to, I don't know, man. Yeah, probably we just donated 3 bigs into the abyss there. Got a little too sticky. And here's the other thing, we're out of position against 2 players. They can bluff us later in the hand, because it's a really tricky board to navigate out of position against 2 players. Right, we're all in here in the $11 bounty. So here's what I'm going to do, lads. It's quite standard, by the way, for 15 bigs. When we cover them both for bounties. If there is no bounties involved... It's funny the way he just shows the jack there. That's really random. I've never really seen something like that. The random show of the jack when we hit a jack. That's a mindfuck right there. But yeah, lads, if you've got a Twitch account, we probably on break will roll over to Twitch. I think the right way to do the Kick YouTube stuff is to start on Twitch. Because I'm just figuring all this out now, right? And I'm realizing now that a lot of viewers are just from Twitch. They're just followers on Twitch, and I pop up in their directory when I go live on Twitch. There's not a lot of like people coming over from Twitch, probably because they're all... I'm kind of assuming that a lot of my Twitch followers are on my social medias where I plug these streams. But the vast majority aren't, is what I realize now. Any pay jumps? Not close enough. Let's just send it on in there with the 4s. With the 129.6 max, sorry, 7 max, we check call flop against half pot. We did consider check raising, but we also just need to protect our check call range as talked about. Having a jack of hearts is definitely not ideal when he barrels turn. We are going to just call river though. Our hand is just too good. He'll have 10 9s, jack 9s. He'll have random 9 7s, king 7s, ace 6s. And if we start folding all our 8x here... God, check raising a flop would have worked out really well, but I think when we have the jack, it's like a little bit less protection that we need. Oh shite, we need to drill a 4. It's the end of the road in the 30 special. No, it's not. I got excited for a moment. Damn, we could have actually tanked into 33rd. Oh, we did get 33rd spot. Because we covered this guy. That's a nice little pay jump to get right at the end there. There's 36 left when we went all in. And there was a pay jump at 33, so that's cool. So yeah, on break I'm gonna bring it over to Twitch, lads. Sound alright? Do. But you're the real ones, lads, over here, right in the start of the Kick and YouTube journeys. I guess the cool thing about YouTube is people ask me a lot for like the replays of streams, which I turn off on Twitch because I like the idea of... It makes it a bit more special when you can't just watch it back, but whatever, on YouTube these will all be there to be watched back. I mean, I could delete them. But at the end of the day, people have wanted that for a while now, and now you can see, you can watch the replay back. This is a grim spot, by the way. Okay. Do. Yeah, he was playing it quite strong. We 3-bet King 10 suited here. We get jammed on a lot here from my recent experience, honestly, but I don't want to flat. I think when we cover him, it's a cool hand to just play in position, and it's nice because we would fold to a 4-bet jam, but we get to play in position, and we make him fold sometimes as well. But the thing is, I think the reason why this play hasn't been working out is I think people are opening a little too tight from these positions. Maybe it's fine because they're covered in a bounty, but people tend to miss a lot of opens, which makes your 3-bets, which just makes them have a lot of natural 4-bet jams to send in on you. When if somebody's missing their opens and they're opening too tight and you're 3-betting them, they've probably got a bunch of really natural 4-bet jams. Like ace, king, and pocket tens and stuff, you know. They're more weighted towards that shit. Zodiac Monkey King Bounty. Go 5.5x here, multi-way. Big old bet. We were 4-way here. It checks around on the queen h3. This guy bets in position big on the king. Expected to go check. This queen is... like, he should never have a queen in this line. He check back the flop. What is this? A king jack that wants to go for value now? I think it's a bluff, honestly. Oh, it is a king jack that wants to go for value now. Fuck. That's actually a really nice value bet he got in on the river. Normally, people just freeze up with the queen, check back all their good hands. I was playing pub poker once, made the final table with like half a big blind or less. And then they went on break for like half an hour. Everyone was late coming back. It was like, hurry the fuck up, I'm tired. Ended up cashing somehow. Changed perspective a bit, yeah. And it's just about finding a rhythm of taking all stack sizes seriously and being in a good mindset. I think it's good, man. I think it's done well for me. Like, I've got a lot of, I'm not far from perfect. I've got a lot of bad habits. I've got a lot of things that don't really benefit my poker career, but I think I really make up for it with a lot of mentality, a lot of serious mentality shifts I try and implement. Like, the same with if I'm ever playing, and this might sound really boring and like I'm super dry and a party pooper, but I like to party, don't get me wrong. But like, if there's this little home game going on and everyone's kind of splashing around and gambling and getting all in with 9-5 and stuff, whatever. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to. You know, when you're playing poker professionally and seriously, you need to really just be super in tune with every last gram of discipline you can find in your body. And I think if you have these degen sessions where you're hanging around with mates, and it kind of teaches your brain that it's okay to just fucking jam 9-6 suited in there for 50 bigs sometimes. I think that's really toxic behavior. The same way I think it's really toxic to kind of stop giving a fuck about your last tournament in an online session, or it's really toxic to not give a fuck about your last 2 big blinds in a tournament. I think you should always be super dedicated to the craft and super respectable to the game and the poker gods. You know, pretend that not putting in effort is disrespectful to the poker gods and they'll fucking strike you down. Biggity Binks. What's up, dude? Yeah, welcome to the stream, fellas. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. The real ones. This small turn. Maybe he's got a 7 that he's gonna go. That he's either gonna check or go small with. Maybe he's got a 10, like 10-9 of hearts, 10x of clubs. We got a raise, right? Just 2.5x the river. seek value from those weak hands he's kind of telling us that he has. He might just have 4s full and he's like trying to keep us in, but more likely he's got the weak stuff. And we can bluff here. We can have 9-8 of hearts. We can have like no showdown type hands that are just trying to get a cheap bluff in. We 3-bet kings here. See a pretty brutal flop. We aren't going to check. Just going to go tiny. Uncle Sess is stun asses. No, I had no clue, mate. No clue, stun asses. An absolute real one, mate. I don't know why I always say stun asses as well. Stun assess? Stun assess? Stun assess is better, right? Than stun asses. Which is it, Uncle Sess? Alright, let's run the numbers. Buster. Don't feel great about it, but just think we can't fold now. Or at any point. Here we are, 32% equity to his name. Blue is good. Can't be the queen of diamonds. Obviously can't be a heart. $20 bounty. And we 3-bet the ace-9 suited button versus this big stack. Suited 9x is a very common 3-bet bluff against early and mid positions. And the reason suited 9x gets used is a lot of them are a little too weak to flat, but also they don't interact with the bottom part of the opener's range. If someone's gonna open, let me start that again. If the weakest hand someone's gonna open from like early position or mid position is like the 10x, the king 10 off, the ace 10 off, the jack 10 off, whatever's. You don't really want to interact with the bottom of their range when you're 3-betting them. You don't want to block their worst hands and make it more likely they've got the better part of the range. So there's a lot of spots where you see the solver just use suited 9x because it doesn't interact with the bottom. They don't open offsuit 9x. And the reason it's important they're not opening... It's important to not interact with the offsuit part of their range because offsuit is more combos. Jack 10 off, Jack 10 for, there's 4 Jack 10 suiteds, hearts, diamonds, spades, clubs, and there's 12 combos of Jack 10 offsuit. Like Jack of clubs, 10 of spades, yada yada yada. So yeah, not interacting with the bottom part of their offsuit opens is key for getting that success rate up with your 3-bet bluffs. Good nugget of info to leave you on as we're about to sail over to Twitch, I think. Do appreciate the viewership for the first stream though. 10 of us over there on YouTube. Nice one, lads. And then on Kick, 8 of us, 18 in total. Not bad. I guess I'll try and host someone on Kick in the poker directory. Alright. Leave you with this hand. That's the last one. We 3-bet the ace 4 suited. Button low jack. I like this spot. We've got backdoor. We turn straight draws and a deuce or a 3. We have a backdoor flush draw. We block trip 5s if he ever wants to get sticky with 5-4 suited or ace 5 suited pre-flop. Obviously now it's a bad card for a hand. It's a good card for our range because we've got pocket queens, kings and aces and they don't. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go small, then big on the river. Because we're targeting 6s through 10s. Nice river. We're just going to go all in now. We've got Queen X, we've got kings, we've got aces. I'm mainly worried about a jack. If they want a hero call 8s, I wouldn't respect it, but you know, they can do it their own way. We're all in. Pocket 7s, pocket 6s, all of that. Oh, he does have the ace queen high. So all that also exists, but I think this is totally fine and standard. They're not always going to have pocket 7s and 6s and stuff. Sometimes they'll have a random quad 5s. That's super rare, of course. They shouldn't really have much 5x at all, but point is, sometimes they'll show up with stuff. But I think the range is most dense around the pocket pairs under the jack X, right? We do have the nuts over here, lads, and we are check raising, playing for stacks. 13.3 will leave us with 33 bigs. I think 14's fine. Sucks. Right, fellas. Gonna see you on Twitch at Sven Calls on Twitch. Hopefully. Shout out to you on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to you on Kick. Give us a follow. Going to try and raid someone on Kick. Alright. Hopefully that's manageable. And then, yeah, after the break, 7 minutes time, we'll be over there on Twitch. I guess so. Non-stop action. Right. Chat to you soon, lads. Appreciate y'all hanging out.